You guys already know what I'm going to say, but I'm going to say it anyways because it's fun. Gearbox has given some amazing DLCs in the past and also some pretty lackluster DLCs. Now, if you guys don't know what I'm doing, if you guys are new to my channel, I am making a series out of ranking every single Borderlands DLC from worst to best in my own particular order. So yes, we are probably going to disagree in the comment sections. Now, I have already done Borderlands 2, so definitely go back in my channel and watch those individual videos. I've done a individual video on the Headhunter packs. I've done the individual video on the DLCs or the main story DLCs, and then also ranking every single Borderlands 2 DLC from worst to best, which includes, say, the Creature Slaughter Dome, everything like that. Now, for Borderlands 3, this is the main story DLCs, such as, say, the Ava DLC and the Krieg DLC. Now, I will be talking about the free DLCs that Gearbox has given us inside Borderlands 3, but that will be in a later video, and then also a culmination of these two videos put together, which will be ranking every single Borderlands 3 DLC from worst to best. And again, remember, this is my own order, so now since you guys know what's happening, hope that you guys enjoy the video and take it easy. Now, coming at number 6, maybe a shock to you if you guys watch my Twitch streams, but is the Designer's Cut DLC, aka the Arms Race DLC that also added a purple skill tree. Because, of course, we wanted 4 skill trees. Why not give us a new character? Oh, I know why. It's because of the fact that Gearbox just didn't want to put in a new character. So, let's talk about Arms Race for a second. Without driving into fucking drama, because nobody really wants to hear about that from my mouth. Honestly, Arms Race is a fun little game mode that gives you the plasma coil, and that's about it. Then we get the 4 skill trees. Zane is pretty fucking good. Flak sucks. Mose is I like Iron Cub a little bit, and then we have Ball for Amara. If you guys don't know what Ball is, go watch Epic's video. Link will be down in the description for that one. Very good video. Also very funny in my own opinion. But literally, this DLC gave us nothing to do. Seriously, it gave us time for us to farm up until the Ava DLC, which we will talk about later in this video. But other than that, I really didn't have fun with this DLC except for Arms Race, and that was because I was streaming it because of the Echo Cast extension. Other than that, Arms Race literally was completely dog shit to everybody that was playing it that was not a streamer. So, moving on to number 5. Now, coming at number 5, we got the probably most controversial pick in this entire list, and it's the Handsome Jackpot DLC. Now, yes, for a lot of people, this DLC is absolutely amazing and super fun. For me, it drove me back to Borderlands 2. At the time, I really didn't like BL3, so that's why this DLC is suffering. In my opinion, I understand that this DLC added so much content and also added such good class mods, such as, say, for Zane and the Seeing Dead comm and Mose the Snapper comm, but other than that, it really didn't do anything for me. I went back and I replayed the DLC, and yes, it's a fun DLC, but it's definitely not on par with any of the other DLCs on this list, in my own opinion. So for that reason and that reason alone, it's number 5. Now let's move on to number 4. Now, of course, coming at number 4, we got the Krieg DLC. Now, it's either A, you love it, or B, you hate it. I really can't find any middle ground on this DLC. In my own opinion, it's a mid DLC. I like it. It added such good story for Krieg and Maya, but also it added Evil Lilith and Evil Mordecai and Evil Brick. I understand the lore aspects of it, but why the hell did you have to add Evil Lilith? This boss sucks. And then also the main boss, you know, the Psycho Reaver, I don't even really like. I think nobody actually really likes the Psycho Reaver boss fight, and then you try to have this Nox-inspired, you know, treasure room, that it just falls in comparison to Nox's treasure room, even Scarlet's treasure room from Borderlands 2. So yes, in my own opinion, it is a mid DLC. The lore aspect of it should be number 1 in my own opinion, but also I see a lot of people saying, oh, well, it's just a nostalgia bait DLC. Well, yes, of course it is. It brings back one of the most beloved characters. Sure, you can't play as him, but you get to know the inner workings of Krieg's mind, his good side, his bad side, or his sane side and his psycho side, everything like that. Again, good DLC in my own opinion, but I can see why people hate it. Now, let's move on to number 3. Now, this is where I get the video just taken off YouTube because everybody's gonna hate me saying this. I like the Ava DLC, or I like the Director's Cut DLC. The Director's Cut DLC added, sure, that murder mysteries, which are kind of stupid, but at the end, when you're actually getting into a deep dive on Ava's lore, it's actually a really good DLC, and I personally really enjoyed it. The Seer boss fight is the Seer boss fight. It's cool, but also it had, you know, the quote-unquote weird immune phases. I don't understand why Gearbox wanted to put in immune phases for every single boss. It felt like they wanted to, and it was a cool mechanic, and it kind of made some bosses inside the entire game become utter shit. But regardless of anything, I do like the Seer boss fight. I like this DLC. I like the lore applications that it gave to Ava diva, but this DLC actually made me like the character a little bit more than as much as I hated her. So in that sense, again, it's a good DLC. It's number 3 on this list. Now let's move on to number 2. Now coming at number 2, we got, DLC 2, the second ever DLC released inside Borderlands 3, which is Guns, Love, and Tentacles, the marriage of Hammerlock and Wainwright. Honestly, this DLC is really fun, but the only thing that kind of hampers it in a way is the end boss fight. Eleanor's Heart, or whatever the hell it's called, is such a boring boss fight to the point where I didn't even want to get gameplay of it. So you're seeing me kill every other boss imaginable in this DLC besides the Heart. And then also Ista or Ista, the invincible, let's slash or whatever. Honestly, I did not like Ista or Ista, whatever his name is, as a raid boss. I think it was a cheap, little trick to get people to be like, oh, there is a raid boss in this DLC. Nah, it's really not. It's not raid boss loot. It's just a psycho guy that wants to really fight people. Honestly, yeah, Ista, kind of mid-boss, but the lore applications and also the storytelling of this DLC ups it from, 3 or 4, where a lot of people might rank it, to number 2. Honestly, I can see number 1, but we all know what number 1 is. Now, again, this DLC, very fun in my own opinion, but the boss fight drags it down so much. If you want a good DLC, you want a good boss fight. Now, I know DLC 3 has a boring boss fight. Trust me, I'm going to talk about it. Funny enough, coming up now with number 1. Now, as we all know, Bounty of Blood is one of the best DLCs in Borderlands 3, so that's why it's at my number 1 spot. And also, it's one of the best DLCs ever inside the entire franchise. But I do want to say this real quick before everybody gets all in a hoopla. I understand that the Ruiner is somewhat like the Heart, but the Ruiner actually has cool mechanics. You can go under the map to shoot it back up to the surface and everything like that, and it also does damage to you. You know how to kill it. It's a giant chrysalis, for Christ's sake. So that's why Bounty of Blood is number 1, and the boss fight is not lowering it down to number 2. So now let's talk about the lore aspects, or the overall story. The overall story is really fun besides the opening. The opening takes about, I don't know, 10 minutes for me at least, because I can't skip the damn dialogue. This is why dialogue skip needs to be a thing after you beat Borderlands 4, because honestly, yes, I understand it sets the entire DLC up. You get introduced to Rose. You think, oh, Rose is going to be the main protagonist. Nope, she's the main antagonist. And you go on this entire journey to try to stop her. Amazing boss fight at the end, along with the Ruiner. Honestly, it gave a lot of lore applications to her, to maybe being a siren. That would be really cool. But other than that, this DLC added so many cool guns, so many cool mechanics, that everybody still goes back and plays this DLC. Also, let's not forget the weird side missions that we had to do, to get the limp dick shotgun. I forget the name. I think it's called the Fake Ups. And then also just multiple other weird side missions to where you need to get syringes, and then you also become a slime rancher from that, popular game Slime Rancher. Also, a lot of just weird Easter eggs, as well as a amazing Jurassic Park Easter egg, because of course it has dinosaurs. Now, I took in up way too much of your time already, and I appreciate you guys watching this video, and I do want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys so much for 1,000 subs to the channel. You guys are absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for crushing it recently. We are halfway to the 4,000 watch hours for monetization, which is absolutely amazing. Membership should be starting up here soon. I think I'm around roughly 1,000 watched hours away, maybe like 900 watched hours away from that as well. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. My name has been BZK25 over here on YouTube, BZK25 over there on Twitch, BZK25 over there on the dem Twitters, and also shout out to Alt Customs. Definitely use my code BZK. Link will be down in the description. Link will be down in the description for pretty much everything where you can find me. My link tree will be there. And again, thank you guys so much for watching. Again, taking up way too much of your time already. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace out. Love all of you. Bye-bye.